Hi, I'm Jessica from Bearcast Media, here with Yugos. We just did a Queen City session. Can you guys tell me a little bit about the two songs that you guys just played?
The two songs we played are Ingenue and Andopolis. They're from our new record that we've been working on for quite some time now, called Weighing the Heart.
Awesome. So, do you guys like Freaks and Geeks? Because your song's called Andopolis.
We like that show a lot.
It's named after Nick Andopolis, which is Jason Segel's character from the canceled too soon series Freaks and Geeks. Because it has like a big drum fill in it and he plays the drums.
Is that why we named it that?
I thought so. I don't know. It speaks to his character. Because he's afraid.
You can give him that. He is, yeah.
I know you guys really like James Franco apparently, so yeah. Okay, so your guys' new album is called Weighing the Heart. Can you tell me a little about the recording process of that?
Recording process for this album has been taking a very long time. We've been working on it for how long? Like almost 2 years? A year and a half, almost 2 years.
I feel like these songs are a lot more technical than our last album, so with the last one it was all more, I feel like these are also from the heart, but I feel like it's a lot more like mental stuff going on with like the technical aspect of it, so it's a lot more difficult to get it right. So I'm a bit more of a perfectionist, because last time I was like, oh, it's fine, I won't even notice that problem next time, and then every time I go back and listen to it now or someone has it on, I'm like, oh, I should have done that, and I didn't want that to happen again, so it's a little bit slower this time, which I think is good.
I think we're not so much concerned with the time constraints. I mean, we're not really like restricted to a label or like so we can release on our own time and make sure it's good. Yeah.
A lot of bands don't have that luxury.
Would have having the time.
Yeah.
I thought a cool difference between this one and Life is Awesome in general is like what you were saying with taking a lot of time with different parts, like part structures for the songs, and like
Even with writing.
working like really just different sounds from the other two.
I think we just spent more time on these songs overall, like because we've been playing a lot of the songs on the album for like 2 or 3 years. So it's playing them live. Yeah.
I feel like the songs on the last album that I wasn't as happy with, like the ones we didn't play it live as much. It's kind of like you got to find a weird balance because you don't want everyone to know all the songs.
I think we kind of got off track. We're just talking about the recording process. Well, we started recording it like, huh? Okay. We recorded a lot of it at Sabbath Recordings over the Rhine with our friends Isaac and Jacob Merritt. Isaac Carnes and Jacob Merritt from Pomegranates, which is like one of my favorite bands. It was really cool to be recording with them. We weren't happy with a lot of the performance stuff on our part, so we ended up going and getting the guy that usually records our albums, Chad Walbrink, to we talked him into doing it.
Yeah, it was hard to get everyone's schedules to line up, so we kind of had to. It was hard to get everyone's schedules to line up, so we kind of had to like do it in different ways at different times. But I feel like it kind of works because there's a lot more like variety on this album than the last one, in my opinion. And I feel like the production's different for different songs. It kind of makes it more interesting. I don't know. I feel like it's still cohesive enough, but I feel like it's interesting to have different production for different types of songs on the same album.
Something I think was really cool about the recording process that was different than Life is Awesome was Life is Awesome we did in a church in Clifton, right? Clifton. And it was like a really cool environment. And then when we went to Sabbath to do the recording there, it was like really cool. Like they got really, really personable with us and like sat us down and had us like really get to know each other as like best friends, like while writing the album. So I feel like when you hear it, there's going to be a lot of that sound captured in it. So that whole process.
I think that since we've had the opportunity of recording basically twice this album, we can like find like the best parts of everything that we did, and yeah, we can. I think it's gonna be really good when it comes out. Final product.
Like, would you guys say that like playing these songs out live, like before you recorded the album, has like given you like a different perspective as like far as like how you like want it to sound and like? Okay.
A lot of the times I'll come up with parts live based on like what the audience is, how they're reacting to it, like just that energy between the audience and the band that I wouldn't think of if it was just us like in a room together. I feel like it helps like to have the audience kind of contribute to the songwriting a little bit if we play it live a lot before, because it's like we recorded some of them and then we went on tour before we finished, and when we came back we were like, these songs really evolved on the road with like playing them in different places and getting more of a feel for it, and all playing it together live with just the energy of a live performance is totally different, so it definitely informed that some of the changes we did and stuff like that.
I think like we really try to capture like the live sound, like as far as like recording goes. Like our first album, our first EP was really like clean and like not really like a lot of effects. So it was just like pretty straightforward, like a studio album. But like it's like been progressively getting like more like busy and like kind of like a live show. It's just like endless stuff going on. So yeah, I think this album's gonna be like a little busier, but it's still pretty tight. So.
That's what I was saying before with like, well, we were spending so much time with different parts and like adding more and more and more and more and more. I feel like the songs are just like really creative. Like the creative process was really cool in the recording process of making it.
I'm really proud of these new songs.
It's always a plus, yeah. It's like when you guys aren't recording your album and playing music, like what do you guys like to do outside of that music realm?
Let me think about it.
I like to make sci-fi movies. That's what I mostly do for the past couple of years when I'm not playing in a band or washing dishes.
Yeah, we've been working on a movie for like 3 or 4 years called Dinosaurs in a Mining Facility. It's a sci-fi thriller. It's pretty off the chain. I star in it. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we're all in it actually.
He wrote, directed, and he's doing all the special effects for it. He did all the editing.
Thanks.
He's really doing it all. He's doing it all.
I try not to tell people about it until like it's done, because everybody's gonna be
It's
like, hey,
getting
when's
there.
that movie gonna come out? Because they don't realize how long it takes when you're doing it on your own time. But
I think it's closer than it's ever been. So
that, and we all like we all hang out when we're not playing music and stuff. So, and like we all have our own kind of music projects that we do, just kind of like stuff we couldn't do in the Yugos that wouldn't feel right. Kind of get different outlets and stuff like that.
I'm engaged, so I spend a lot of time with my fiance, and just doing stuff with her. And then, other than that, out of the Yugos, I like to record a lot, and that process is fun for me, recording and learning more about that, because I'm still pretty new, but it's fun, and I'm liking it.
I'm a UC student, the only one in the band. Represent. I'm an E-media major now, officially. Represent. So school is a big part of what I do on a daily basis, but yeah, I do like to record stuff. I try to like record as many like different like styles as I can, just so I can like just for fun, nothing that like I really want to put out, but just like so I can learn for myself. I used to play video games a lot, but yeah.
I like to play with my dog Samson. If you're watching this at home, he's a great dog, and Joey too is great. Joey's a great dog as well.
Shout out to my Sunday night board game group. We play extreme board games.
I like to watch Netflix. I like to shoot my gun and pet my dog at the same time.
So do you guys think that having like side projects and stuff? Like I know you guys mentioned like you guys have like a side project. Like, do you think that brings a new perspective in, like when writing songs for the Yugos, like coming back and working together to write songs for the Yugos?
Yes, very much so. I do a lot more with my solo project recently, and like it's making it to when we write Yugo songs, they're actually Yugo songs and not just like songs that I wrote that they're playing along to, if that makes sense. Like they're more Yugo songs ever than they're more Yugo songs now than they've ever been because of my solo project, because like I've been writing with that so much.
Yeah, I feel like each of us is less adamant about like this part needs to be the way that I want it to be, you know what I mean, as opposed to like what collectively it's just going to happen to be, you know what I mean, because like we're not like, oh, this is the only thing I have to get this feeling that I have out through this music. It's like, oh, if we have a certain feeling it doesn't quite fit in with this band, then we can get it out in other places. And I feel like it helps to make this band exactly for people. It's like collective ideas instead of people fighting to, you know what I mean. It helps with that a lot.
I'm just on the same page with Christian, as in when I started just writing my own music outside of the Yugos and stuff, it really helped for when we went to the Yugos and did the process for writing and stuff like that to really sound like the Yugos and like get that niche and that good sound.
Yeah, I think the fact that we all have like each different interests and like we have time to like decompress and like think of new ideas, and like, you know, a lot of these ideas like we bring to the table like for new songs and stuff. So yeah, I think the fact that like we can just, you know, still do our own thing musically while keeping it together in the Yugos, like, you know, helps us like write better songs.
Yeah, I think Weighing the Heart is gonna be probably, hopefully, the last Yugos album where I've sat down and wrote an entire song by myself. And I'd like for the next record to be like a 100% collaborative effort. Like all four of us write every single song together. So it'd be really fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Who would you guys say some of like your biggest like influences are, musical or like not musical?
My mom and my dad. My dog Samson. I'll think about it for a second.
I like people like Jim Henson and Pee Wee Herman, and people who like embrace the like fun, goofy side of life and like take their work seriously, but you know what I mean, like aren't too cool to enjoy themselves. You know what I mean? Like I try to bring that to our performances as much as I can. That's probably two of my biggest influences.
I'm still thinking, so.
Yeah, I mean, I like a lot of stuff. Like, I don't know, I just kind of, whatever I write, it's like just like a culmination of like whatever I've been listening to the past like months or whatever. So, but I consider like two of like the biggest artists that have like changed how I like look at music. Is this composer, his name's Shostakovich, and this band called Autechre. And yeah, I think those two, they don't really like particularly influence like our sound, but just like how I understand music is like totally changed. Yeah, the mentality. But as far as the Yugos goes, like I think we all are into like shoegaze and like 80s like throwback pop or like rock, new wave. I think we all listen to that stuff. So yeah.
I know I like him. I listen to a lot of different stuff. And recently he just got me into a Tim and Paul album called Currents, and that's an incredible album. I've been really loving that. And I think with the same thing, like he said, two biggest influence for me as a musician would be Dive, and then because of him also Unknown Mortal Orchestra. Just in getting like, who is it? Was it? Oh, so from thank you. Those two bands recently have been really influencing me on just how I think of music in general. 'Cause it's just Unknown Mortal Orcs is extremely creative with just the writing process and his songs. It's really cool, and Dive gives me like a really like nostalgic, I guess, feel, and let me like sit down and really think about music I'm writing with my friends and just stuff like that. So those have been my biggest recently.
I like the Pomegranates a lot. They're like my favorite band. The first show I ever went to was Pomegranate show, and I was like, I'm gonna start a band tonight. I'm going out and buying a tambourine. Me and my brother are gonna start a band, and I'm glad that happened.
Both of us just getting really excited about them, or like seeing them together and being like, we should do this. I feel like that's probably the number one. That was like the catalyst that we were like, this looks like so much fun. Why aren't we doing this?
Awesome.
Well, thank you guys for doing this interview with Bearcast and doing the Queen City sessions. It's been fun. So, yeah. The Yugos.
Thank you, Jessica. Thanks for coming to all of our shows, and you're really awesome, and we appreciate you so much.
Thanks to everyone who comes to all of our shows.
I love you all.